he's had games where he's done that, but yes, it's not as consistent as Holy
Right.
Phoenix, who also in those games usually has impressive scorelines, usually has been like the second carry of the game. So in terms of consistency, yeah, definitely. Week 1 was very rough for the lineup in general. Holy Phoenix was just like jumping into team fights or jumping into 2v2s
Yeah.
with like Tristana jump. It just didn't make any sense. First ban, Quinn, out from Copenhagen Wolves. So
Well.
aimed at Werlib or Godbro or Holy Phoenix
Or
or
Santorin.
Santorin.
I wouldn't have expected it to be Holy Phoenix. Not the strongest
AD
of
carry right now.
AD carries right now, but nevertheless, it's gone, and there is an AD carry ban to follow it up.
Yeah, Cogmore, definitely an AD carry to be feared right now. Was left open in the last game that we saw with Mouse Sports and SK Gaming, but they did not pick it. Nope, they had the opportunity to. They brought home the win regardless. With the Caitlyn, Lulu also banned away, so we're really not going to see any protect the compositions from either team right here.
We did just see SK run almost a
Shen
protection
Gragas,
comp with Shen Gragas and then the Janna alongside it. So there were elements of a protection comp, but they did have the Corki there to kind of supplement extra damage. So it's a bit of a hybrid composition like that, a bit more well-rounded than just a straight-up protection comp.
Alistair is going to be banned away along with Corki on the other side. So what are we looking for priorities? Lucian's up, Kallista's up. Any of the mid laners are up.
Yeah, and
Fiora's
junglers are up. Gragas is up. There's just a lot of picks. Poppy's up. Gangplank's up. Kindred's up. Kallista's up. Like, there is so many power picks, or previous power picks on 6.2 that are still available, that Wolves now, kind of like a kid in a candy store. They're like, what do we go for? Do we give Pinoy the Kallista and make sure we have the best possible matchup? Do we go for a jungle matchup? Here, now that Elise is banned, do we opt for Gragas, which is particularly strong? We haven't got the read of exactly where it is. Top lane is where we go with the first pick.
Wicked priority on Fiora. So far, Wicked's played a lot of Gnar, pretty much the same champion pools from last split, with like Gnar, Malphite, Tamkench, that type of stuff. So putting him on like a pure carry now will be very interesting, especially against Werlib. He was hovering the Jax. I mean, Werlib is kind of his signature champion out of the LCS, like he carried a lot of games with it. Had slight changes on 6-3, so it takes 2 more auto attacks to fully stack, but you get 4% more. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but it takes you a little longer to reach your maximum potential.
Yeah.
I would love to see him play it. Whether we'll actually see it in-game, I'm not really sure. We've seen it banned out a lot against him in Challenger.
Yeah, well, we saw it a lot banned away from him in LCS as well. It was it was the one pick in the spring split that if Giants got their hands on, you could say, you know, reliably Giants were likely to come out ahead of that game and likely to get the win unless they were up against the top tier competition. Werlib was a very formidable Jackson, has struggled to get it since. He hasn't locked it in this game. We'll see whether he does end up locking it in. For the record, it was the Poppy last week. I finally got
winner,
that.
winner, chicken dinner. Got it. Braum was also the other pickup, so alongside the Lucian, so makes sense securing the bot lane there with the duo, so that's not going to be denied here by Copenhagen Wolves, who pick up the Victor and Nidalee. Nidalee definitely risen in terms of the tier list. Has basically become a tier 1 jungler over the last couple of weeks in most regions. So yeah.
And a lot of that has been because of the compositions around it. Even analysts and casters are saying, well, maybe, like, especially Crepo's like, I'm a little bit more keen on Nidalee now than I was. I'm still not the biggest fan on Nidalee just because she does tend to fall off. If games go later, but we've had faster games, we've had more sieging situations, so she does fit the meta right now.
It is very true. On the opposite side, Godbro back on a carry. LeBlanc picked in the mid lane. Gragas as well. Could flex into the top lane, but so far we've only seen Sartorius bring it to the top lane, more likely jungle for Santorin. I mean, it's a facilitating jungler. I mean, works for Santorin's playstyle.
But here's an area where Nidalee may suffer. If you don't get significantly far ahead, the likes of Gragas disengage, Braum disengage, and the ability to engage with Flash Body Slam, that's kind of a Nidalee's nightmare. Sure, she can try and poke you, but if you can never make anything happen from that, these are two tanky champions that can absorb a lot of this poke, and they can engage on you, and they can stop any engage on your team. That's problematic, potentially.
Potentially. We'll have to see about the execution in game.
Yes.
As always, the big thing, the E word. So, Callista also picked up in last rotation. Wow. With the Bard. So we saw a Bard recently with Vitality where
Loved
they ran the Bard and the Zillion combination.
Loved that comp.
Fantastic. No Zillion in this game, unfortunately, but it's so weird seeing a Kalista make it to final rotation with a potential Gangplank as well. But we're on 6-3. So many things have changed. But in 6-2, 6-1, like pretty much what we've been seeing for like the first month of LCS, it's like these would not have made it this far down the pecking order.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, Gangplank hardly ever made it out of bans.
Yeah, very true.
Let alone, but obviously Werlib, they've had the Fiora and he's had the opportunity to lock this in, but it looks like they wanted to prioritize. Else, wow. If they didn't have enough engagers, it was.
Yeah, more now.
Malphite, who, Malphite into Fiora, we've seen this so many times. It's fairly standard. You just kind of control the Fiora for a while and then engage. And if you can't engage and you can't control the Fiora anymore, you lose the game.
Yes.
Which is pretty much, it wasn't so much of a Fiora matchup when we saw G2 playing with a Malphite this week with Kikis, but it got to the point where Kikis engage potential wasn't enough, and they couldn't reliably take fights, and that was it for G2, and they lost to Vitality. I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was to Vitality.
Nowadays, like, it used to be this kind of containment system. That was Malphite, right? He'd go up against, like, an Aurelia, a Jax, and his job was, like, to be the high-security prison that kept them inside. And if they broke out, your team's all dead because the murderer gets out and kills your team. But in this time, now that we have, like, a teleport nowadays, he's able to teleport into the fight and engage with his ultimate. So there's a lot more to it in terms of counterplay. Yeah. And that's what we really need to see from him. So.
Well, you said I want to see carry for Godbro. Well, there's a carry for you. LeBlanc is the pick for him. We'll see how that fits into the rest of the composition, because a big knock-up into a LeBlanc distortion could deal a lot of damage, or maybe it's the side lane control and split push from Wolves that you think is going to do the best job. Hashtag CW win, hashtag HMA win. We'll figure out who you think's going to win this when we get into the game.
Hashtag skin synergy in from Gragas and Braum, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, running the some of the new skins there. I can't remember the exact names because they're all funky. They're kind of like Dark Soulsy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, yeah. I've not actually seen these.
I believe there's a Praise the Sun symbol in there somewhere.
These actually slipped past me.
Zoom, enhance, rotate.
Are these the... They're not the Beast Hunter ones, are they?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's
from
Sajani, Draven.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know that. Sorry, I'm the one with the rise set.
Yeah.
Anyway, skin
C&D
synergy
skins,
is one
I've
thing.
been informed by,
Yes. Well, not quite.
Mysterious voice.
Similar, but notably different.
Yeah.
Anyway, Copenhagen Wolves. In the blue side, what can they do in this game? Because Wicked on Fiora is an interesting one. We weren't too impressed by his Poppy last week. Now he's on another carry, or at least a champion that has to realistically snowball a game pretty heavily as this goes further and further forward. So at some point, Wicked should be able to gain control of this lane against Werlib. How late in the game is that going to be, though, is my question.
There's a lot more weight on Wicked's shoulders.
Yes.
Versus the other games. Because Poppy, yes, she can carry, but she's not a raw damage dealer versus a Fiora, who your job is to deal damage and kill everyone on the enemy team. So just have to see how Wicked does, because so far we've seen her on like Malphite, who's actually up against this game.
Yep, well, we're not going to find out for too long. Well, yeah, we're going to find out a little bit later, because we actually do have lane swap situation. So Wicked won't be under the pressure of a 1 versus 1 lane, but Wicked was under the impression he was going to be in the standard lane setup. He went straight to lane, straight up to top, so wasn't there for the initial double jungle, didn't get any creeps off the first wave either, so now has to back himself away, didn't get any experience. That's generally what we've seen top laners do, is they take experience from the first camp, go to the top lane, soak some experience, go back down for the third camp from a jungler. Not the case this time. Wicked was a little late on that first camp.
Bard was going on Magical Journey, poking away the duo from Werlib and Santurin, seeing if he could trigger them from last week. So last time we saw an invade, they got absolutely wrecked, and that first game snowballed out of control. New slot back into the bottom lane. It's just been Pinoy stacking up that wave for the old double minion wave so they can try and get this push going. Wicked is now recalled and moving into the bottom lane, exposing top lane. And now Troven is in jungle. So this is a situation where Copenhagen Wolves were Lane swapped on, and there is no double jungle for them. So HUMA theoretically should have the push here, or the advantage. But I feel like they may even be slightly slow to the play.
Yeah, look, it feels very much like that.
Yes, they are slow to the play.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we get the confirmation at this point, and that is all we needed. So actually, Wicked did get some experience off the first wave. I was just double checking because he got level 2 a lot faster than Werlib. So he may not have got any CS, but he definitely got minion experience. So that is why Wicked is likely to hit the levels that bit faster. Werlib did manage to equalize some of that, but as the towers go down, Wolves are waiting in base. They're seeing where the resources are committed from HUMA. At this point, with Wicked bottom lane, it means that the Wolves are sending their duo lane top. Going to try and stop Werlib from sitting in that lane, but I don't know. The Wolves have spent a lot of time there, sitting in the base.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, if you're desperate to lock yourselves into a certain lane setup, then I guess that's okay. But you have to realize that you're sacrificing experience in that situation on your AD carry. You're sacrificing a little bit of gold. They did get it onto Wicked though, which is not too bad.
Mid lane, LeBlanc up against Victor. We'll see if Godbro can actually make the carry happen, because we're actually seeing him back on the carry champion. He did play Lulu last week, trying to get the top lane and also bot lane going. Troven heading into the top side of the map.
Okay. So I realized why Pinoy was sitting in base. They weren't looking to lock lanes. He was waiting for the gold that came from the turret that Wicked killed. So that he could, I believe he bought boots, bought an extra longsword from it.
Okay. That is actually fairly big.
It actually is fairly big,
yes. The trades.
One of those things that when you go back and you see it again, it's like, oh, okay, that was what you're doing. Makes complete sense.
Just recast, maybe called out here by Troven. He'll have to flash away. Cosmic Binding did not lock him down. Spear connects there, just on the way back. Nukes alert. The funny thing is, actually, if the Binding had landed onto Kaz and he flashed, the Binding carries on going. He doesn't care where you are, so he would have actually gotten stunned underneath the turret. Would that have resulted into anything? Nope. Did I say it just because I wanted to say it? Yes.
Always some funny interactions with Bard to be seen. Hopefully we'll not see too many janky ones, but there are a couple. There's always fun. No spell shields involved in this game, so those are always the interesting ones.
Yeah, very interesting. Troven continuing up the poke.
Spear hits.
Yeah, being very just annoying. That is kind of his role here. They should be able to push in this tower. Like, it's 3 versus 3. Like, I don't know how much Copenhagen Wolves can achieve here.
Especially against, like, a Gragas, a Malphite, and a Braum. Like, you're not going to kill them anytime soon.
No.
But they are going to be able to obviously have the range under the tower. What it is doing is denying Werlib the ability to farm. And on the other side of the map, that isn't a problem for Wicked. You can see 26 CS to 9. Werlib, of course, is having to share experience as well. So this is hamstringing Werlib significantly. Look at Wicked. He's level 5, has the CS. Werlib is level 3 right now. That is the big difference in this. And it's actually nearly 2 full levels that is different between the 2 top laners. That is going to have a ripple effect throughout this entire game. We talked about the weight that's on Wicked's shoulders. That is getting exacerbated by this setup here from the Wolves. No, by HUMA. Other way around. Werlib now has extra weight on his shoulders. That's what I'm saying. It's made it easier for Wicked.
Well, Werlib's gone back into the top lane. I've not seen a tri-lane go on for this long. I don't know, what is this like?
I was going to say,
what is
Dota boys.
What is a man, a rock, and a dwarf doing in the top lane?
Sounds like a pen and paper campaign.
It does. Maybe looking for Strider. I don't know. Bottom lane, Holy Phoenix. Oh, look at that damage onto Werlib. Double tap, and the Q onto the minion follows after. That's why you don't flash in a straight line, ladies and gentlemen, because you'll get Holy Phoenixed.
Oh, that's so sad. All the work that Wolves have been doing to give Wicked a good platform for this game. Keeping 3 people from HUMA top for Soren, forced to barrier. Godbro's out of mana. Can't.
Out of mana. But, that was Thunderlords and Aftershock both hitting.
The blue one was the clone though, so don't get baited into the too low health.
Indeed.
so much was used by Wolves to keep Wicked ahead, and then 1v1 misplays against the AD carry of HUMA. And we talked about it, single misplays, solo misplays was what cost the Wolves last time. It was actually a TP in from Wicked into the minion line. Oh, that's so sad to see. Like, Wicked... Oh, it wasn't even the flash in the straight line. It was the flash and then moving in line with the piercing light. Yep. Feels bad, man.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
I mean, that's a Lucian that only had, like, double longsword as well.
I know. Also, that all goes back to Lucian waiting in base to pick up the extra longsword because actually wouldn't have had enough damage to pick up the kill there.
It's okay.
Also went back to Pinoy.
Yeah, Pinoy waited for the longsword so he could draw 3 people to the top lane.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, Posse.
Yep.
We're on the right page. We're on the
Causation.
same page.
Cause and effect.
Whoa. Hang on. Whoa.
That is a call.
That is Cull.
Okay,
that was
so it got
not
buffed?
bought at the beginning of the game either.
What?
Like, Cull is intended to be a starting item for a farming champion that wants to just get to 100 and then just get this extra bonus of gold, where it's like, congratulations, you got gold. It was buffed on the last patch.
Correct.
And has not seen a whole lot of play since.
So +2 AD and +50 gold when fully stacked versus the 300, so it's 350 total. Ooh, there comes the culling, trying to chase Pinoy after. Well, this time he will move sideways, which is what Wicked did not do, and will get away.
Well, that's what it's about, though, isn't it? Synergy.
Yep.
The cull for the culling.
Oh!
Willem
I like it.
is in trouble.
Willem is dead.
And there is the snowball effect. Level 7 Wicked, level 5 Willem, no ult to get out, no tower to retreat to. No hope in that top lane right now in a 1v1. And we talked about it. You know, Willem on this Malphite theoretically should be the containment facility. But he can't do that. They never finished construction on it. Yeah. Can't really keep him down. And honestly, the fact that he can't keep him down at 10 minutes in the game means he should never be able to keep him down.
Yeah. He's going to get knocked down, but I actually highly doubt he can get back up again. So that will be a problem.
Is that what the CW stands for? Chumbawamba?
Yeah. Maybe. We just we scienced that. Nice.
A lot of kids in chat like, what the hell is he talking about?
Understand.
Chumbawamba.
Now the fact, because I used to be that guy for a long time, where you know I would just not get any of those references.
Would just fly past
exactly,
you,
right? Because I'm out of the age range. But now, all of our viewers, they're in the same boat as me.
Viewers, apparently you're still in that age range. Unfortunately, false.
I'm still going through the phase. I'm with all of you at home.
My favorite one was when our LCS scriptwriter, came to us and was like, "You used a reference that was older than you are, Pulse."
Yeah. He was genuinely impressed.
He was like, "Wow, you used a Simpsons reference. It was like 25 years old. That's
I watched that stuff when I was young."
Gotta love those BBC Two replays.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Oh god, bro, clearing out those minions. This game has definitely stagnated a lot. I'm just tracking the call currently. It's ticked down to 81 now, I believe, here from Holy Phoenix.
The problem with this game is HUMA were in a situation where they needed Werlib to be at a point where he can reliably engage. And he's level 5 still. 11, 12 minutes into the game. Level 5 on a solo laner is almost unheard of. Like, this harkens back, actually. I wonder whether it was a Werlib game as well. There was a game in EULCS last split where Huni got like 70 CS up on someone. And I can't remember. Oh, no, it was Odo Amne. It was Odo Amne, and like Odo Amne was just out of the game from the very beginning. It was just like, well, good luck with that.
I'm remembering. It's not quite getting Flame Horizon, but
no,
it's close.
It's not. But it's a Fiora into a Malphite. The Flame Horizon is already like in. It's on the horizon. It is there. You can see it coming.
The Fiora Horizon.
It's inevitable in this game.
It's fast approaching. Werlib is not in good shape, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
If you didn't get that. And that is the Rift. And Herald going over.
The thing about that is it's not inherently his fault. It's the way that the team reacted to the lane swap. They prioritized Holy Phoenix, which still has the potential to work well for HUMA. If Willib gets to a point where he can just reliably ult and start fights, that could be okay. Godbro gets himself out of a fight pretty quickly there. Malphite is Malphite's going to become an ult bot, and that's all he's going to be able to do.
For the most part, that's mostly what he wants to do. Glacial Fissure comes out. There's the ultimate coming in from Nuxalot. Does not land onto Godbro. He got out of there. Fancy footwork. And Wicked will be heading back out of bot lane because people are trying to close in around him, like being Santorin. But he's now out of vision range, so they don't know where he is. So just everyone collecting their buffs. The gold is basically even. 700 gold advantage to Copenhagen Wolves is a decent amount, but not game-breaking at 13 minutes in. Dragon's going to be going over to HUMA. Nice deep ward coming in from HUMA, actually. We'll be spotting Troven on the top side. And we'll give him a chance to go for the scuttle here. Both junglers, I believe, have gone Runic Echoes, which is fairly common for Nidalee, and also now assuming that Gragas will do the same. In all the games we've seen so far, he's always gone for Runic Echoes just because you clear the jungle so quickly.
Yep. And the supplement to that is the tankiness comes from Strength of the Ages. So nice extra bit of health, which actually stacks up very quickly, believe it or not. Nidalee is just about stacked on his. 240 bonus coming onto Santorin right now himself. So you can see already getting to that 15-minute mark. If you're even moderately ahead, you have stacked it.
Yeah.
Which is good. So a lot of added bonus.
It really is. Like, when you look at that and you just see it in your match, you're like, 300 health, and then you think about when you're level 18, you're like, oh, I have 2,500 health, an extra 300, does it really matter? This is almost fully stacked at level 9 Troven, who would normally have 1,200 health. So an extra 25% HP, that was a clone, by the way. An extra 25 HP is really, really big if you think about it in those terms. So it's actually such a good mastery.
It is. I knew it was the clone boss, don't worry.
Because I didn't notice the first time, and you got my back on the first one. So.
Yeah, so you had my back on this one as well. Don't worry.
Give it the culling.
But Copenhagen Wolves have got the turret and takes it down. So they have themselves 1,300 gold lead. Dragon is not available. We did just see that taken by HUMA about a minute or so ago. Honestly, the cull, it tells so much of the story of this game. Of that this is going to be a waiting game.
Yeah. It's like, I will see you in 15 minutes.
The fact is, there's a lot of engage on both teams, and neither team wants it. You got a Malphite, you got a Gragas, you got like a LeBlanc, you got a Bard, you got a Callista. These are all champions that are like, yeah, we're going to fight. And then your Lucian buys a cull.
Yeah. It just sets the tone for the game.
It's like, I'm going to a side lane, and good luck with that.
I'll see
Although
you soon.
he's mid lane right now, so.
It's down to 39, so he's fairly close to maxing this baby out.
Observers, I want to see the payout. I want like a zoom in when... It's not like a Draven,
not like the Draven,
where there's like money flies out of everything.
Yeah. It's up there, though. It would be great if that, like, intensified, depending on the adoration stacks. And then, like, that one we saw the other week, which was, like, 1,488 gold, was just, like,
the
whole screen
explodes.
Like, money!
It's like, have you ever ended a game of Solitaire and actually won it? Where the whole screen goes crazy?
It's like, great job.
Whoa.
It's just weak cast. Ultimate doesn't land. Gravity Field comes out. Willib does have his ultimate 4-man collapse. Santorin comes in. Troven as well is there to assist. Soren is still alive. God, bro. But the double distort takes him out, but he's CC'd against the wall. CC coming out from Sir Nuxalot, and Wicked wants to kill. He turns towards Willib, who may be called away. He'll flash over the wall. Already used the unstoppable force. And Holy Phoenix duking back into Pinoy. He actually flashes away and will just get rendered. That was just not a good decision, straight up. And he even burned Flash from that, so burning all summoners. And that was a really good trade for Copenhagen Wolves.
Good trade for the Wolves, but that was a rough back and forth little exchange as well. Nothing hit at first for EpicSkillshot. He was looking for the engage and just couldn't really find it. Looked for the Brawl Malt, forced him away. Looked for the Winter's Bite and missed it as well. I mean, Soren at this point has a couple of options. He's no flash, so he knows he's just going to stay alive. So it goes into the choke, but drops the gravity field so early, and it sets up this situation where the rest of HUMA have to back away. Yes, Godbro comes in and manages to take him down in the end, but a good stun onto Godbro allows him, well, forces his health so low. From there, the rest of Wolves trying to clean up. Holy Phoenix with that added damage that he's got is to be feared, but not for Pinoy, who's just going to wait for that rend. Pulls it back out, and I mean, it was rough to begin with, but good gravity field placing really slowed down the engage from HUMA. Now Wicked could be in trouble.
Godbro's chasing after Whirlup, does not have his ultimate. The flash, another distort, auto attack, and the ignite will make sure Wicked is 6 feet under.
But the problem is where it's going is... Okay. Well, I was going to say, there's nothing to capitalize off the fact that they just drew 2 people to the top lane for the Wolves. Now they're looking for a fight in mid lane because bottom lane was pushing towards them and they just had to kind of shove that back out. I mean, that's the problem, is if you draw 2 people up to the solo lane, you need to do something else elsewhere, otherwise Wicked dies and you don't get anything for it.
It's been a little while since that other team fight, but I still want to mention it. Yep. So I'm glad we talked about Sir Nukeslot and the interaction with Cosmic Binding, because he hit the Cosmic Binding when LeBlanc had distorted twice. He jumped back to the original point, but because she got hit by it, she got stunned.
There's
so
the janky.
That's actually why Godbro died there. And you saw this very long Cosmic Binding actually just connect onto him. So there we go. I just wanted to put that out there.
It's good.
Yeah. Anywho, 3-3 kills in this game. Still advances to Copenhagen Wolves, but in terms of goal, it's basically stayed the same since a couple minutes ago. It's just in terms of the tower and the map pressure they had, but HUMA have managed to get extra farm in their side lanes, which is evening up, and the cull is also the difference there that you can see. 14 stacks.
So close. 13.
It's happening.
Can we call that interaction with the Cosmic Binding on yourself like double jeopardy interaction? Although you can actually be convicted of it twice because it locks you down. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud here. Yeah. Everybody in chat's probably like, no, this guy's stupid.
Awful. Ruined.
So Whirlib is going for my favorite Malphite build. Godbro's been caught because Whirlib's gonna clap people to death with an Iceborne Gauntlet.
Oh, there's no clapping today. Put down your hands. He's gonna try and be saved by the ultimate.
The only clap here is gonna be a slow clap after that ultimate.
Yeah. No gold clap, unfortunately. Oh, Wicked's in the top lane. There's no one to stop him. Oh, Whirlib does have TP, though, but he's dead.
But here's the thing about the situation Wolves have, is their 4-1 is incredibly strong right now, and HUMA messed up the engage. The way you play against 4-1 or poke, any kind of comp like this, is you engage hard onto them and you kill the 4 before the 1 ever joins. Didn't happen. With the biggest engage in the game of Malphite Ultimate. So it's a little bit of a dire situation for Sir Nukeslot.
Gibbed on the spot. Takes him out. The flash and the Eve by Santorin will lock up 3 members. Now the chase out by Godbro. He'll have to jump back to safety. Sweet Cat also gets chunked out by Soren. Whirlup now into the fight. Doesn't have his ultimate, but there's enough of a tanky front line. The Copenhagen Wolves have to turn tail and run. 2-0. And he only picked up 1 kill just after that pick from Godbro.
He's cashed out. It's gone. It's frucked. The cull is now ready for sale. Its value is finally at peak market price.
Good stuff. All right, we're going to see him go back to base and cash that one in.
Yeah, I mean, you already get it. But now he can just go sell the item and get the item slot back. So we talked about 3 carries on HUMA. And what they've really showed us, well, they're showing us 2 in this game, which is maybe what they need. Godbro is at a good point, 3-0-0. Holy Phoenix is having a decent game himself as well.
1,600 gold ahead is Holy Phoenix with that call. That's also come from the additional tower. Where does it come from? Also the 30 CS. So all those things combined has created that 1,600 gold advantage. And that has resulted in another completed item plus the pickaxe. So Holy Phoenix is in a fairly good place. We're going to see that last team fight again. Actually going to see the pick onto Nukeslot, actually.
Yep. I thought this was going to be a replay of the cull cashing in.
Yeah.
So this is what happens when you disrespect a LeBlanc. Bam.
Poppity pop.
Gotta. And then from here, it's kind of just the expected follow-up. I mean, we've seen a whole bunch of Gragas engages today. Gragas was meta all of last year. Looks like he's finally back with that flash knockback. But Santorin doesn't seem to have missed a step on it either. Just good engages off that, and it's kind of turned the game around for HUMA. Keep in mind, Werlib was put super far behind. He's still down on experience, but we talked about how he just needs to become an alt bot. Hasn't really been pressured out too much since. He got caught out 1v2 top lane, but that was about it.
Yep. His job is just to stay with the team, be in a side lane to meet Wicked in the 1v1, just clear out the minion wave. He's going for the bomb. He sends it into the Sunfire now, so he can do that a little bit more effectively. That is his job role in this game. He's just going to hit the ult, have the follow-up from his team, combo into Santorin.
Look at what HUMA are doing as well. Because they can see that Wicked is top lane, they're looking to set up and engage potentially and draw Wicked back. Wicked's going to try and push to the inner tower, but it's going to be traded for HUMA, who can push faster than he can as their 5-man stack.
Top tower was already chunked out, so it will be trading 1-for-1, but with the stack of 5 people in the bottom lane, maybe they can take a little bit more. The ultimate from Bard will delay the push in from HUMA, and therefore Wicked will take the top one faster. He has a small minion wave, but another one arriving. HUMA really need to force the issue.
He has TP, though.
Yeah, but Wicked will inevitably push this tower as they need to make a play in the bottom lane. Werlib jumps in with the ultimate. Everyone explodes! The ultimate from Santorin was massive, and that's a 3rd kill going out. Wicked is just too late to the party. Maybe he should have stayed top lane, and HUMA are now pushing in the bottom lane.
And this is what we were talking about, that engage. And the 2 people that Werlib hit with that ultimate was Soren and Pinoy, that carries for Copenhagen Wolves. Yes, Wicked was over split pushing top lane, but he committed to the teleport as well, so didn't even get the top lane tower from that. Tried to come back, but too little too late. And HUMA have completely turned this game around.
That is a dangerous recall from Holy Phoenix. He'll have to back away. That's actually delays him a fair bit. Godbro is back there, placed down the pink ward. Okay, so gonna see that engaged by Werlib, pulling the trigger so well.
Yeah, he has the flash of ult available there, and that's exactly what he goes for. In goes Godbro right at the same time. Very clean from HUMA at this point. Like, there must have been a countdown. It's just like 3, 2, 1, go, and everybody just goes straight in, clears out the team fight, and get the inhibitor to go with it as well. So for everything that the Wolves did, putting Werlib behind, the inevitable situation of a Malphite ult turning a game around has shown itself again.
I mean, HUMA just are reading from the same page. Like, they are showing coordination in this game with this composition, which is really great to see. Because it was one of the things that was somewhat lacking in their games. Additionally, they were behind in their laning phase, so it doesn't matter how much coordination they had, they were always going to lose regardless in those fights. But when they're ahead, HUMA know how to push the advantage and specifically make hard decisions, because they had 5 people in the bottom lane. If they didn't pull the trigger there and then, Wicked would have taken the inhib.
It's a bit cheating to show the fan vote now.
Yeah, like 25 minutes after the engage, and HUMA are already way far ahead in this game and taking top turret.
I bet there were people on Twitter that were like, hashtag CW.
Oh, backspace.
Just as that Malphite ult goes in. I meant HUMA, right?
Instant regret.
Oh, damn, autocorrect is what the other like 20% of people are saying.
At C changing into an HMA.
Hate it when that happens. Man.
Yeah, happens all the time to me.
Whew. You don't even know. Sent some embarrassing texts because of that.
Yeah.
I have to be careful of that when I send in any pro player predictions. Maybe that's what happened to Deficio.
Oh, very
He actually sent in like 2-0.
It just auto-corrected to 1-1.
IE changed to MIL.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was so wrong. Yeah. And then, yeah, 1-1.
The second one as well, yes. Also a typo or autocorrect mistake.
It's okay, Deficio. We forgive you.
We got your back. You know. Pinoy sitting on 2 items currently. Meanwhile, Holy Phoenix sitting on 2.5, but he hasn't gone back in a while, I don't believe. So, let's take a look at his gold real quick. 1,800 gold, yes. So, yeah, actually, 1,400 gold. I'm good at maths.
Yeah, that is what we have concluded from this.
Yeah, but a lot of that came from the one the kills, 2 the farm difference, and also the cull.
The cull. I would not recommend in solo queue getting cull as a second item.
No, because you can't predict the next 10 minutes. But when you're playing a coordinated game with 5 people, you sort of can.
Even then, I don't even think it's like an item to just be like, I'll get a little bit of extra gold, because yes, it is overall extra gold, but then you got to kind of think of if you just wait and get your item that little bit faster, because 100 CS is a lot. That is a lot of time that takes to stack up.
That's true, because he didn't even buy a first item. That was like second, third, fourth.
It's real tough to stack that up. But it worked out for him in this game, so...
He's got that going for him. Godbro looking for the assassination onto Nukeslot. This time does not land the chain, so doesn't get the proc off on the Mimic Sigil. The old Mimic Sigil. The slow push is coming in. So far, because the bot lane is down, it means that HUMA can just push in the top and mid lane. It's just a matter of doing that systematically, slowly, cleanly. Harder, faster, better, stronger. And they're just closing in.
Pulse in action.
Here we go. Godbro looking for the assassination onto Nukeslot. This time doesn't get it either. But now the initiation, Santrin comes in and actually saved by the ultimate in from Buzz. He can't burst him down. That's a 2 for 0. No one even drops from HUMA. And the grand challenge onto Werlib couldn't get all those vitals. Troven will have to jump away to his Nexus turrets. Not sure if HUMA can actually finish on this push, but they can definitely take this in here.
Pinoy got blasted back into the rest of HUMA, ended up way out of position, had his flash, but it was not enough that he could have got out, so he chooses to save it for the next fight. And again, HUMA are finding engages with this heavy engage composition. The Malphite to round it out, alongside that Gragas, the Braum, just everything makes it really difficult for Wolves to do anything in this game.
So, coming into this game, we were looking at the Wolves with a potential I felt that.
It sounded like you did. Not gonna be. It sounded, yeah, that, well.
That's another one to
add
to the Pulse soundboard
yeah,
after last week with the
I have a feeling that's coming again at some point.
Some point I'm gonna make so many, it's gonna be like a full song remix. I'm looking forward to that day.
I don't want that day to happen.
Yeah.
Because that's all you'll ever play. You'll be like, this is the greatest song ever.
Here you go, and we'll play it in every commercial.
Wicked has his teleport available.
Banner of Command as well from Susuikas, so you can actually put pressure in the side lane. Godbro, he's looking for another victim.
Oh, no. Godbro misread his damage.
Why?
Why?
That could have been another one.
It could have been. Like, that actually should have been a kill.
Yep.
Godbro just miscalculated his damage. So watch Pinoy here in this fight and get into the team. And gone. From their center, and even got saved there by the Bard ultimate. It was trying to save Pinoy, but wouldn't have been enough even if it got it. There was a potential for a reaction flash out of that Bard ult if Pinoy had survived, but I think everybody else would have just been like hammering their engage on him.
That was actually so perfect for Santrin. It's like having an extra Zhonya's in your kit. It's just like jump in, ult them, I'm in the middle of the team. Ah, it's fine. Bard's got my back. Got that tempered fate.
Bard just throws a thumbs up.
I got you, fam. All right. Bot lane push coming out. Dragons being started up. There's currently 1-1 on both teams. Actually, in this stage in the game. What's that, Stress?
Please never say I've got you, fam, again.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
No problem, fam.
You were saying.
So they took the dragon there, and because this is the new patch, they actually deals a dot. So in terms of chip damage, they'll be able to just hit the turret once, and it will start bleeding from the dragon buff, and they can back away. So the chip damage and sieging in this situation is really nice at this stage of the game.
It is. It is really nice. Kind of want to make a point about how frustrating it is that ZZ Rock Portal can be built on any tank top laner. Indeed. And then it just kind of, not necessarily wins the game, but neutralizes an entire lane for you. Here goes Godbro.
Troven dropped low. Santrin with the ultimate knocks him into the team. He'll be taken out with an auto attack. Soren will be going down. Pinoy will also be dropping. This is an absolute bloodbath for HUMA. 3-1. Santrin will go down. And now the bottom lane push will come in. HUMA will be cleaning this one up. This has been a surprisingly slow but clean game from HUMA. They had a game plan, they executed on it, and Copenhagen Wolves couldn't use their composition properly. HUMA will be coming in with the win here. 1-0 in this series, in this best of 2 to start this one off.
Well, I think the result for at least one game of this series being in the books was somewhat to be expected. This is one that we actually felt could be split 1-1, so the real question there is, like, I was not expecting it to be initially at the cost of Werlib. Like, Whirlib got shut down so hard at the beginning of this game, but it transitioned to be that he had enough utility just from his ultimate that by getting into team fights, getting his team through the game, Whirlib just ended up fine himself. Wolves were never able to really utilize the massive amount of split push potential that they did have, and when they did, HUMA were just like, well, we'll 2v1 you.
A lot of that stemmed from Wicked actually getting 1v1 by the Lucian, like, very early on.
Yes,
so he couldn't stay in lane. He couldn't apply the pressure, which probably would have dealt more damage to that one-on-one in that lane, and then actually be able to continue pushing throughout the game. And then, yeah, he just kind of lost the 1v1. So that's a big problem when your split pusher cannot actually 1v1 with such a huge advantage. And that was one of our questions coming into this, with Wicked being on a pure carry. One of the few ones that actually remain in the top lane being Fiora versus like a Poppy or like a Tahm Kench or like, you know, a tank or a Bruiser, that type of thing. And he actually just could not do enough in that game.
No, he really couldn't do enough. And, you know, you mentioned the Lucian getting ahead, Holy Phoenix getting ahead. They put so much into Godbro and Holy Phoenix that they hung Whirlib out to dry in a sense. They did defend that turret with him to stop him getting, you know, dove. But as for resources, Whirlib got nothing. They gave it all to Holy Phoenix and Godbro, and in the end, that is what won them the game. Like, the fact that Godbro and Holy Phoenix had the items that they did, that they were ahead, had the kills, was everything that HUMA wanted in that situation. The engages were on point as well.
I think it's reinforcing like what we originally thought about the team as well in terms of the triple carry setup. We're like, okay, top lane on a tank, but then you have like mid lane, AD carry on a carry, and then also like, you know, the LeBlanc coming back in. It was actually good to see that these carries are still carries, and now every single player can do that. So it gives them a lot of flexibility. But with game one finished up, we're going to go and take our final break on the day, so stick with us. We'll be returning in just over 3 minutes. Whereas they need to make a play in the bottom lane. Whirlib jumps in with the ultimate. Everyone explodes. The ultimate from Sanchorin was massive. And that's a third kill going out. Wicked is just too late to the party. Maybe he should have stayed top lane. And HUMA are now pushing in the bottom lane.